Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Chris Abbott, but all my friends just call me Abbo. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the exact strategy that I used when my pastor tasked me with getting over 1,000 men into a room for a men's event. Now, for a little bit of context, we normally had about 50 or maybe 100 guys at a men's event before that. So now I had to more than 10x that. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through how to advertise a church event coming up. Hey, what's up, y'all? If we're meeting for the very first time, this channel is dedicated to helping pastors and church leaders be more effective with social media and technology and reaching the next generation for Jesus. So what we're going to be doing in this video is I'm going to break down for you a strategy that you can use at your church in order to advertise any type of upcoming church event that you have. I've done this tons of times, too many times to count, and one of the craziest times was legitimately whenever my pastor came to me and just said, hey, man, we have a men's event coming up here in a few weeks. I want you to get 1,000 men in the room. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to do something like that. It's crazy and not easy, right? Especially since we were probably averaging 50 to 75 on a really, really good men's meeting, maybe 100 guys, right? So now I have to 10x that. So I'm going to walk you through the process that I used so you can use the same thing at your church. And if you stick around to the end, I'll tell you exactly what we did, how it worked, and how many guys we actually got in the room, whether or not we actually hit our goal. So let's dive in. All right, so step number one is you want to create a target. Right? So now you know what your event is, right? So for us, it was a men's event and we gave it a cool name. We said, okay, we're going to bring in a Navy SEAL to talk to men. So let's call this the Navy SEAL men's event. Here's the deal is, I really believe that cute and clever just kind of camouflage a great event, right? So throw cute and clever out the window and go with clarity, right? So we didn't try to come up with some like cute or clever name. We called it the Navy SEAL men's event, right? It's exactly what it is. And anyone who wants to hear a Navy SEAL speak, which is most dudes, would immediately stop and read more about that, right? So come up with a good name and then create a target. So for us, that was 1,000 men in the room, right? And so one of the things that kind of hit me, I felt like the Holy Spirit was just kind of working on my heart as we're meeting about this and talking. I just thought, this is going to be an incredible event, right? Like 1,000 guys is a crazy target, but it's going to be an incredible event. And there's most churches around the country who wouldn't be able to put on an event like this, right? We're super blessed to be able to do this. And I just thought, but what if some of those smaller churches who probably couldn't bring in a Navy SEAL, but what if they could live stream our event, right? So even if it was a church of 20 or 30 people, they could just simply live stream our event. They could invite the men of their church out, right? Maybe have some popcorn, grill up some burgers and brats, and then they could watch the live stream and they could be a part of this thing as well, when that's probably not something they would normally have access to. And so I also added the goal of 100 churches on the live stream. That seemed pretty crazy, but I had an idea and I thought I could do it, right? So that was our target. Okay, we're going to have 1,000 men in the room and 100 churches watching via live stream, right? So once you have your target, then move on to step two. All right, step two is to define a win. Now that sounds similar to creating a target, right? But with the target, that was a goal. We want to have this many men in the room, right? That's a great goal. We definitely want to hit that goal, but would that be a win? So what an actual win would have been for us is we wanted people to take an action in the room, right? We wanted them to join a small group and somehow get hooked up with us in the men's ministry, right? Now, yours might be simply an attendance goal. It might just be, okay, man, we want people to, plan a visit or reserve a seat or buy a ticket to the event, right? But whatever it is, define what the win is. You want to create a target in step one, and then you're going to define the win and say, hey, if this happens, then we win, and it was a successful event. All right, step number three, build a landing page. Now, it's important. You don't want to just send them to your homepage or your New Here page or your About Us page. You want to actually create a dedicated page specifically for this event, right? So I think the one that we created was gutschurch.com/Navy SEAL. So yes, the name of my church is Guts, which is kind of a funny name, right? But it takes guts to live for Jesus. So what you want to do is you just want to create a landing page that just has all of the relevant details of your event and nothing else, right? If you try to say more than one thing, you actually say nothing at all. So just keep it to just the details about your event, location, service times, and then you want to put like some kind of cool, fun, attractive hooks in there, right? Like, man, we talked about how we were bringing out a Navy SEAL. We talked about kind of what SEAL team he served on, what he does now that he's out, and then some of the topics that he was going to be covering during the Navy SEAL men's event. All right, step number 4 is you want to run a Facebook ad. Now, you could boost a post on your page, but that's a little bit different, and it's not going to be as powerful at reaching people outside the church. This is a great way to announce it to the people that like your church, right? So like if you were just trying to invite the people in your church to some type of an internal event, this would be a great way to do it, right? You could go on your Facebook page, you would post about it, and then you would boost that post out to people who like your page and their friends, and that's a great way to kind of let everybody know inside your church. But if you're trying to get people outside your church, the best way to do that is with a targeted Facebook ad, and that's a little bit different. It actually doesn't show up on your Facebook page. It only shows up as an ad in the news feed of people that you set up through targeting. So the way to do that is to go to facebook.com/adsmanager, and you can set up a targeted Facebook ads, and you can send that out to the people that you determine through targeting. Now, here's a little bit of caveat, and here is exactly what I did, right? So I knew we've got the Navy SEAL men's event. We're trying to get 1,000 men in the room. So what most people would probably do is they would say, okay, let's only run this ad to men. But that would be a mistake, right? Why? Well, it's because, let's be honest, men don't always take action, but women do. So I knew that if we ran this to men and women, right, then there are going to be plenty of wives and girlfriends who are going to see this, who are literally going to say, honey, did you see that there's a Navy SEAL that's coming to Guts Church this Saturday? Man, you got to go. Like, you love Navy SEALs. This would be awesome. And I knew that a lot of the wives and girlfriends would actually do all of the selling for us. And so I specifically made sure to target men and women. Now, an interesting caveat is that if you were running for a women's event, I actually would exclude men. Right? So if you're running for a men's event, I recommend running it to men and women because women are going to see it. They're going to tell their husbands and boyfriends about it, and you're going to have a better turnout. If you're running it to a women's event, men don't care. They're going to ignore it and just keep scrolling, and they're not going to tell their wives. So you might as well not pay Facebook to show it to men and just target women. All right, so when you set up your Facebook ad, you're going to set this up as a traffic ad, right? You want to have a traffic ad that's going to be optimized for link clicks because we want Facebook's algorithm to optimize this ad to send as many people, as much traffic as possible from our ad to the landing page that we set up. So make sure not to be cute or clever in your Facebook ad, right? Don't try to be funny. Again, clarity wins the day every single time. Just be clear about what the event is going to be like, when it is, and what people can expect when they show up to the event, and then make sure to link that to the landing page that you set up. Okay, so before I get to my last 3 points, I want to hear from you, right? What type of church events have you had in the past? Did they work? Did they not work, right? What types of things did you do in order to advertise and kind of get the word out about that event? Was it Facebook ads, social media, direct mail? Was there some type of cool ninja tactic that you came up with, right? Whatever it is, I want to hear from you. Put it in the comments below. I'm going to read every single one, and I want to know what you're doing to advertise your church events. All right, step number 5 is connect cards. Now, I think as churches, we think about this on Sunday morning all the time, but this is an often overlooked piece for your church event, right? If you're going to spend all of this money, or at least all of this time, right, investing in putting on this incredible event and having people come out to your church for the very first time, but then you don't capture their information, right? That's a massive missed opportunity. And so what you want to do is make sure to have a plan for connect cards and then how to get the people in the room to fill out those connect cards, right? This is really important when you put together your service order. Make sure that you actually write it in there somewhere. Hey, here's where we're going to invite people to fill out a connect card. And here's the deal. You have to reward people for filling out a connect card. If you just talk about, hey, man, would you just fill out that connect card? We just want to have a record of you being here. Nobody cares if you have a record of them being there. If anything, they're okay with it being anonymous because they don't want to give their information to somebody else, right? So the way to overcome this is, number 1, ask for as few pieces of information as possible. I recommend name, email, phone number, and that's it, right? You don't need their address or all this other information about them. Just get name, email, and phone number so that you can follow up with them. And then secondly, you're going to have to reward them for something. So this could be a free t-shirt. It could be free food, right? A free hot dog whenever you turn in that connect card. It might be a gift that in the back of the sanctuary. We started doing this. We actually put together these visitor boxes, right? And we didn't tell people what was in them on purpose, right? So we just say, hey, and then fill out that connect card. When you go to the guest center in the back of the sanctuary, you turn in that connect card, we've actually got a free gift for you, right? We just got a box of goodies in there. There's a bunch of cool stuff, man. There's some candy, man, there's a letter from our pastor. sponsor and a bunch of other really, really cool stuff. So, man, go turn in that Connect card, and we're going to give you that free gift back at the guest center. Now, I actually taught this to a friend of mine, and he started using this on Sunday mornings, and he said they normally had about 2 Connect cards, and the first Sunday they rolled this out and tried this, they had 10 Connect cards. That's a 500% increase simply because they started rewarding people and they gave them a reason to fill out the Connect card and turn it in. Okay, step number 6, make sure to invite them to take a next step in the room, right? Again, this is an often overlooked piece of the puzzle, but you've got all these people in a room for your event. One of the best things that you can do is ask them to take a next step while they're there. This could be joining a small group. It could be joining a volunteer team, right? If it's a bunch of people from outside your church, maybe it's inviting them to meet the pastor, or maybe you want to have them sign up for some type of 30-day challenge, right? Whatever it is, you want to invite people to take some type of a next step while they're in the room. Really, really important, and you're going to have a phenomenal assimilation rate if you have people taking a next step while they're there at your event. And finally, step number 7 is follow up, follow up, follow up. Right now, this is a really, really important piece after the event that a lot of people forget about or never even think about, right? Especially if you connected all their Connect cards. Right now, you've got all this information. What do we do with it? The best way to follow up with people is to create some type of an automated follow-up system. There's no way that you can keep track of all those people and make sure to send them text messages or phone calls or emails every single week. So you need some type of an automated follow-up system. I think that Text in Church is the single best platform in the world for doing something like this. They don't pay me to say that. I don't work for them or anything like that. I'm just a huge fan of Text in Church, right? When we started using this at my church 5 or 6 years ago, it changed the game completely, and we started massively increasing the amount of second, third, and fourth time visitors just because we had an automated system for follow-up instead of us trying to remember to reach out to them. You can actually click on the link in the description below and get 90 days of Text in Church free, so you can actually try it before you buy it. And the cool thing is they actually already have a 6-week follow-up system built out, so as soon as you sign up, you can literally just plug that into for your church and start using it as early as this Sunday, right? So whether you use Text in Church or something else, you have to have some type of a follow-up system because you had all these people that came into your church and now you want to get them to come back. All right, so you're probably wondering, how did the Navy SEAL men's event turn out, right? Did we hit 1,000 men? Crazy goal. Did we get 100 churches to live stream the event? Well, I'm happy to report, pretty crazy. Man, I worked my tail off up to that event, but we ended up having 1,250 men in the room, so we blew that out of the water. And instead of 100 churches live streaming the event, we actually had 243 churches who signed up and live streamed the event at their church. So we crushed it. We had an incredible time. It was a great event, still one of the coolest events I've been a part of, and it was a lot of fun. Literally used the exact same framework that I just outlined for you in this video. All right, so if you like this video and you found it valuable and you'd like to learn a little bit more about how to use Facebook ads and technology to grow your church, well, I've got a free gift for you. Head on over to churchgrowthagency.com or simply click on the link in the description below. We've got a free video walking you through a system that you can use through social media in order to attract new visitors and grow your church. We'll see you soon.